Cars USA, yeah!
This is Car Bros Podcast episode 50.
The big 50.
Big 5-0.
Yeah. The big 50. Yeah. That was better.
5-0.
That's a better. Let's go with that take.
Yeah, I don't know how 50 sounded weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, according to John,
This is all the rave with the youths.
The millennials.
The youths of
are
the day.
drinking White Claw.
White Claw, no law.
I think it has something to do with the popularity of Le Croix and people mixing that with alcohol. But
I think it actually it tastes better than La Croix.
this is our first attempt.
The lime's not bad. I mean, it's there's very little flavor, but it's not like
Yeah.
it's not as bad as whatever the drink you brought a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that was really bad.
What did I bring?
I don't know. Something you
was
left,
like
it was like leftover from a party.
It was like wine.
Oh
in a
yeah,
can.
yeah, those like wine coolers. Those were pretty terrible. Okay, I think we should consider this 1 year. Just
Yeah.
feels like 1 year
Yeah.
to me. Episode 50 feels like a big
Time
deal
flies.
because we took a couple off. I think we took 2 off.
I know we
This
took
is
end of the
close
year.
enough
Yeah.
to 1 year. So
Congratulations.
congratulations! I just wanted to say
Congratulations to myself.
a heartfelt thank you to us
for
doing this. You guys, we really did something here. There are a number of you, I'd say a lot of the audience that's been here the whole time.
It feels like it.
Probably. Yeah.
I suspect we've gained a few and lost a few, but the majority of people just like started with us,
It's
Stuck around.
which
yeah.
is either a testament to how bad we are at spreading this channel
or just how bored they are.
or just that we've already like secured our core audience. And it's like,
Yeah, we've already hit capacity.
yeah, like I kind of have this.
We've already peaked.
I have this image where it's like you. Maybe it's a fantasy. Maybe I'm way off base, but it's like you've probably already either heard about Car Bros and made a decision one way or the other.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of have it in my mind where it's like, this is kind of the audience. Like this is probably
There's
like,
no like untapped
yeah. This is like this
ocean
is,
of people.
There's roughly about 1,500 people that share our sense of humor, and that's about it.
That's enough.
Which I'm down with that. Like that's fine. I mean, maybe there's more. That's why I say maybe it's a fantasy because pretty much everyone who I ever meet in person who's into cars, I'll like kind of mention Car Bros, and they've never heard of it.
Yeah.
So that's probably I'm probably way off base there. Anyways,
A sincere thank you, though, to the
yeah,
actors.
seriously, thank you guys.
It's been a hell of a year.
It's been quite an experience for us. These are enjoyable to do. And the feedback from these, I think, has helped us like hone the product a little bit more, at least our like behind the scenes,
Yeah, absolutely.
like trajectory of where to go with the videos and stuff like that. So I don't know. This feels really good. But yeah, thank you if you have been here through any portion of it, I guess, but especially the people who've been here all year. Thank you for that. A very special thank you to our patrons. Patreon has been growing steadily since we started the podcast. It was pretty much a flat line for about 2 years or something from just the videos. And then once we started doing the podcast, that audience started growing.
There's a very regular flow of discussion and like, check this out. And then everyone comments. And
yeah. So thank you guys for being a part of that. If you'd like to be a patron, every week is the best week to do it because we add new stuff.
it's never been better.
Yeah. Now we have a Patreon only podcast,
Once a month.
which is once a month. Yeah. So
New one will be out Friday.
this Friday there'll be another one. First Friday of every month.
Well, no, it'll be out the same day because we missed the first Friday.
We did?
Yeah. Today's the
Did we?
today's the 3rd, bro. It's Saturday the 3rd.
Oh, we missed the Friday.
Oh, shit. Well, let's cancel that.
It's going to be out as you're listening to this. It'll be out
Oh, we'll just post
at
it.
the same time.
We'll
Yeah.
just post it whenever. All right, sorry. Sorry, guys.
As you can see, we really care about our page.
That was a real administrative goof. Okay, my bad. Oh, that's why we were supposed to record yesterday.
Correct.
Okay, probably. All right, you can edit this part to make us look better. Okay, with that said, we have Monterey coming up.
As we record this, less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, less than 2 weeks away.
And we have a lot of shit that we still have to do.
Yeah, the Fieri is going to Monterey thanks to the generous support of our Kickstarter. 66 people on Kickstarter made that happen, so you can pour a little bit of your LaCroix out for them.
It's White Claw.
Yeah. So we're going to take, this will be the last podcast of August.
The first and last.
The first and last.
More than likely.
Yeah. So if you want a podcast in August, this is it. Or you can also sign up for Patreon
and get another one
and get one more. Because we're going to focus on that video because that needs attention.
Yes.
And like we can't fuck that up. So we will be back on September 3rd. We'll be back Tuesday, September 3rd.
At the latest.
Yeah.
There's a small chance
we might
pull off something before that. But.
Yeah, last year in Monterey we did some podcasts there, and we may do that again. I just don't want to promise it
because we're going to be pretty
because
busy.
the priority is that video.
Yeah,
and I don't want to do anything that would make the quality of that thing suffer.
Right,
because that's like a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, because we're probably not going to be invited back.
Yeah, it's probably we're probably not going to be invited back. There's already things going on. But I don't really want to give any of it away. We'll just put it all in the video. Then we can talk about it later. But yeah, there's already some shit popping off. So like that video is just going to be great. I can just already tell it's going to be awesome. But yeah, so this will be the last podcast of this month. So it is celebratory because we hit a year and then we're going to rest on our laurels and walk away. Yeah, so...
I do want to mention just real quickly, we haven't found out one way or another whether Savage Geese actually listens to this, but I just want to mention that
What's up, Dale?
He started his own
Rich?
podcast. He's jumping on the bandwagon.
Oh, he didn't already have a podcast?
No. He just started.
I thought everyone has a podcast.
No, he wanted to follow in our footsteps because we're so successful.
So let me just read between the lines here.
Yeah.
Dale saw our podcast and decided he'd start his own.
It's not how it works, Richard.
Yeah, come on. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I guess go check out his
podcast.
Podcast.
It's audio only. He doesn't do a video.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's weak. Yeah, man, we just need to get that guy on here. If anyone like views Savage Geese videos, you should just like leave.
Tell me step it up.
Yeah, start leaving comments on there like you should get on Carbro's podcast, but don't make it sound like we said
make it real.
Make us look cool.
We don't care.
Yeah, don't make us look needy, but suggest it. So that it sounds like his idea.
Suggest that we really, really want.
And then when he comes to us, we could be all nonchalant.
Like, we'll try to fit you in.
Yeah, we'll see.
We have to talk about big guys getting into cars.
Yeah, we've got some big dude topics that we need to burn through first. Then maybe we can fit you in like 2020. Yeah, anyways. That's cool. It's a little tidbit. Okay, so here's something not really related to cars, but then I will fold it into being related to cars. So
that's why you get the big bucks.
that's why I'm in this seat. I started riding a bike about a month ago. A bicycle. And because my commute is 1.5 miles to work, and I work in a downtown setting where parking is 2 hours and then you have to move your car. And so my parking situation was stupid. I shouldn't have been driving anyway. So I bought a bike, and it's just like I never drive now because I just bike downtown, and then I bike back home for lunch, and then I bike to the gym, and I bike back. So it's like
you have 2 vehicles, but you ride a bike for like 90%.
Yeah, both my vehicles just sit in the garage. Anyways, then my bike was stolen, which sucked. Yeah, that was pretty violating.
A bike that you had for a month?
I had it for a month. I did not own it for long enough.
And it's not like it was like a Walmart Huffy.
It was a
like
reasonably nice
bucks.
bike. Yeah, it was like a $800 bike that I paid $300 used for. And so I left it. I was downtown, like drinking with some friends. I went home with somebody else and left the bike. And I was like, I'll get it tomorrow. And then like 1 a.m, I was like, oh shit, that's gonna be gone. I don't know why it didn't occur to me. So I was like, it'll be there. And I went back to it at like 6 a.m, and my lock was in the dirt. And the bike was gone. I was like, all right, yeah, I kind of saw that. So later that day, I was on Craigslist. So I bought another bike later that day. I was just like,
back on your feet.
Yeah. Well, I had this fancy about like finding it on Craigslist.
Yeah, we were joking about that.
Checking it out. Like, let me take it for a ride. Just like leaving. What the fuck are you going to do? Yeah. It's stolen anyways, bitch.
Calls the cops.
Yeah. So I was just like, let me just fix this problem as fast as possible. Just buy another bike. So I bought another bike. And so while I was buying the bike, I had left the car with the windows down, and I came back to it, bike in the back, like, and now I'm like getting back on the road, and there's this huge fucking wasp in the car, this huge, gross, like wasp thing. I don't even know what it was, but it was
buzzing around.
It was
in the wasp family.
Yeah, it was something aggressive looking and large.
Yeah,
just like it's just like ugh. And it was like on the sunroof. Like I didn't realize. Well, what I got into the car and I saw it on the roof of the car, and I was like, "Fuck you, bro!" Like I'm just gonna like, get in and leave and roll the windows up before you can get in. Like I was gonna deal with it. And then it was in the car, so it outsmarted me. And so I'm already on the road, and it's in the car, and I'm trying to like drive and like, but like I don't want to shoo it away because I don't want to get like stung by it. And so I'm like doing a bad job driving. I'm like not really staying in my lane. And I grab a towel and try to just like mangle its body against the headlight. I'm trying to just like kill this thing. So it's like, I don't want to shoo it outside. It's like, you're in my space. I'm going to end your life. And so I end up just sort of like shooing it. Like it didn't die.
Just gonna relocate it.
Yeah. And so like I like wipe the ceiling with its body, and then it's like not there, but then it must be in the towel. So I'm like, I can't deal with this while I drive. So I pull over, and it's like it's not really in the towel. And so I'm like unfolding the towel, and it jumps out onto the ground.
Yeah, still alive,
but like injured and angry,
crippled.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right, let me just go around to the other side of the car and just like fully murder this thing. Like,
put it out of its
misery.
misery.
Be done with this. Yeah. And so I go around to the other side of the car, and I open the door and get the towel just in time to see it crawl up. Like above where the passenger's feet go and like up into the dash. Like, up into the dash. And so I'm on the side of the road for like 5 minutes, like looking up there, because it just disappears into like heater
some crevice.
Just heater hoses and like plastic. It's just like it's a maze up there. And so it's like it's up in there now. And I'm like, fuck, I'm like 20 minutes from home. I have to drive. So the whole, I give up, and the whole drive, I'm like cruise control, but like looking,
waiting for it
to reemerge.
It's gonna like pop up behind your shoulders.
Oh man, I can't believe I gave this thing so much power. And so then I'm like, maybe I just do it and let it sting me. I'm wearing sandals, so I'm just dreading like feeling this tickle on my feet because it's gonna touch my feet. My feet are now where it crawled into.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it was very not cool. This thing really ruined my day. And so I make it home miraculously.
Survived.
I survived
In one piece.
It's very traumatic. So I get home and I'm like, fuck this thing. So I leave the car outside. I had to do some other shit that day, but I just like didn't because the car is now contaminated. And so I looked up online. I was like, how hot does it have to be to kill insects? And there was some study about like if you heat an insect to 150 degrees for 30 minutes, it kills most insects. I was like, all right. And I was like, how hot do the insides of cars get? And all the articles are like, don't leave your pet in the car because it can get to like 150 degrees in like an hour. And I was like, perfect. So I just turned the car into it. I parked it in the sun and just baked this motherfucker for like a day. It was like 8 hours of like 100 degree sun. I'm like, well, I'll just do all that shit I had to do tomorrow. And so I come out to it the next day to drive down here. And I'm still like
a little
hesitant. Still gun shy.
Like the heat like turns into some sort of like zombie.
Yeah, I was like, because if he survives this, he's gonna be real mad. Like if it's like MRSA or one of those like super bacteria that like it's like what have I created here? So I finally he didn't come out. So there's some like wasp carcass hopefully, or he's like breeding. Yeah. Anyways, but that's happened before where there's just like a thing in your car and you don't, it's like Maybe I'm just a little bitch. I don't know. But like sometimes there'll be like spiders or something and they'll run away and hide.
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
like,
like,
well,
fuck, he's in here now. Probably watching me from some little crevice, some little corner. So yeah, that's my, that's how I bought a new bike. Long story.
Shout out to the person that stole you.
Yeah, long story is screw whoever stole my bike.
Similar story. Have we mentioned that? Like, because since when Garrett stored the Fieri, it was like completely outside in the elements. It had like a car cover.
It had a cover on that didn't.
Oh, yeah.
But it probably sat outside for like, what, a year maybe? 8 months?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Close to.
Yeah.
That
And
thing
so
was
when it
full of
finally
Black
came
Widows.
time to move it,
and
yeah.
it was like abnormally rainy this year, so there was like extra bugs.
It was under a moist tarp
yeah.
on dirt.
But yeah, we had to actually physically bug bomb the inside of the
Yes.
Fieri.
Yeah, that thing.
There's multiple Black Widows that we saw.
Yeah, there's probably like all sorts of shit.
So now it was even more of a death trap.
yeah, if the exhaust fumes don't get you, the Black Widow bites. Black Widow bites will.
That actually reminds me of about 6 months ago. I was trying to buy this van, and we went to look at it, but like the van was like full of shit for some reason.
What do you
Like
define
the guy was just
Yeah.
like storing a bunch of crap.
Oh, it was like old
Yeah.
National Geographic.
Yeah, it's just like
I don't know.
I think he like took it to the swap meet or something and like used it to haul shit. And he's like, "Oh, I can't really drive it." Or like his dad had the key or something. So like, wasted all this time. I was like, okay, well, just like, I was kind of pissed off, but I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, just let me, like, you can bring it by if you want me to drive it, like drive it over here.
Yeah.
And then like right after he's like, oh, I was cleaning it out and a Black Widow bit me or something, so I can't make it. And I was like, okay, well, sorry.
Damn, that's a little karma. A little justice served for you.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, sorry, I'm sorry about this. I think I'm going to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably have that checked out.
Yeah.
Bring it by first.
On your way,
First
just
bring
stop
it by
by.
so I can lowball you.
Yeah, and then Uber to the doctor while I check it out. Speaking of the Fieri, the guy Nathan.
What's up, Nathan?
What's up, Nathan? The guy who is helping us, our friend who is part-time Fiero mechanic. He's the one getting it roadworthy for Monterey. And he got it running. He fixed the exhaust leak, fixed the main problem that was messed up about it. And he was like, I'm taking it on its maiden voyage. I was like, oh, sweet. And it died as soon as he put it into drive, which I think it does that. Like I was trying to think, like, does it?
I remember when I stored it, you said it would do that if it wasn't warmed up all the way. Like if you just started it up and tried to put it into drive, it would die. Yeah.
And so I was looking online. I was just like, is this like a thing? And so I was looking up Fiero, like shifting stuff. Like
going down the rabbit hole.
I went back into the forums just to see. And there's all these threads about the manual it turned out they were talking about the manual transmission, but it wasn't clear to me.
We have the automatic.
Well, ours is automatic, unfortunately. The less enthusiast oriented. It's more of a Boulevard cruiser. It's more a GT. And there are all these. I was trying to figure out what they're talking about, but it was like, are these transmissions just notchy or like they don't shift well or whatever? And there's this whole thread about like improving the shifting quality of the Fiero. and in this thread, this is like 2 threads I read, and the first thread was about shift quality, and it was like, this guy was like, I've done everything to make my Fiero shift better, and it's still notchy. Does anyone have any recommendations? This guy was like, have you tried Rodney's shift cables? I started
Handmade.
I was laughing at that. He's like, well, you tried Rodney's cables? Like that's where I'd start, like fluid change and Rodney's cables. And I was kind of laughing. And then that guy's response was, of course I have Rodney's cables.
I'm not an idiot.
Who do you think I am?
I'm not a JV punk off the street.
Yeah, I'm not some punk bitch. Of course I have Rodney's cables on this thing. Just like cracking up. And so I was like, okay, that's not what I meant. And so I got to the end of the thread, and on forums it'll be like similar threads. Like, some of the newer forums will be like threads similar to what you were looking at. and like one of them I think was about like the transmission. The second one was 2JZ into Fiero.
It's very similar.
Rodney's.
And so I was like, I gotta click this.
Yeah.
And it was just like, has anyone ever thought about swapping a 2JZ into the Fiero? Like, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's just like a couple podcasts ago, we were talking about like people on forums. It's just a combination.
How much do you want to spend?
Yeah.
2JZ.
How would that even work?
A straight 6.
They're transverse.
Yeah, but it'd have to be in those. Yeah.
Like into like the worst car. Like, dude, just let it go. And people were kind of like musing about, like, well, you can do it. You can do it. It's just like, dude, do not consider this. Oh man, I just thought that was funny. It's like I honestly can't think of like a worse. That's pretty far up the list of terrible project car ideas.
Yeah.
A 2JZ to a Fiero. What would it even look like? Would it be sideways?
That's what I mean. Yeah, it would have to
Or
be.
it's like a Pantera or something.
I don't even know. Oh man. Anyway, shout out to that guy for.
Shout out to Rodney for making cable.
Yeah, those Rodney cables though. I wish they were for the auto. I'd totally buy those and send them to
Swap
Nate.
them out. Yeah.
Hey Nate, before you get this thing on the road, can you put Rodney's cables in there? Like having him do all these mods. Oh man, yeah. Okay, so we've had a few people throw up some Patreon questions. I think that's right.
Yep.
Let's get to a couple of them. Burn them out.
Okay, so
got 'em?
one's from Jordan. Okay, his question is, what are our thoughts and experiences with valets and any horror stories you have had with them?
I've only valeted my car a couple times.
Yeah, I don't do it a whole lot.
And there were no stories with it.
I valeted the STI once, and it sucked because I had converted it into push start.
I was there with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. And it's like a weird process.
Yeah, and
right?
so it's like a universal push start.
Push buttons.
Push buttons, yeah, push
right?
button start. And so it's made more for automatics. And so everyone who's driven like a modern automatic, you put your foot on the brake.
You both have an aftermarket alarm system and a push button.
Well,
start.
they come together.
integrated.
Like they're the same company.
Okay,
They're
but
both
as far as the valet would know,
Right,
those
yeah,
are two different. Those are two like non-standard
yeah, and so
steps.
instead of, normally when the car's stock, you put your foot in the clutch and then you can start the car with the key. Whereas this, it like disables that. So you don't even need to put in the clutch anymore. You just have to put your foot on the brake and then push the button and the car will start. And then same process to turn it off. You hold your foot on the brake and push the button and it turns the car off. And anytime I took it to the shop to get a smog or took it to a valet or just took it anywhere, like to the dealership to get a service.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, how do you like turn your car off and how do you turn your car on? And I would explain it to them and then they like would call me 10 minutes later and be like, how do you do this? And so
if you ever want to like know if your car, or I was going to say project car, but just car is in like ideal running order, like give it to someone.
Yeah.
Because
See
then
if they-
immediately
see if
it's
they
like, oh shit, don't touch the radio.
Yeah.
like all the like mental list of things.
Don't push the clutch when you start it.
Don't roll down the passenger rear window. Don't adjust the AC. There's a wasp in the dash.
yeah, just minor details. But yeah, it was like super annoying. And I was like, God, why did I fucking do that? Like, it was all because I saw a picture of it in Japan. Like the newer STIs came with like an STI branded push start. And I was like, I need that in my car.
Yeah, the jealousy
tuner
started.
bug.
Yeah, figured a way to do it.
The tuner jealousy bug.
Dug its claws.
Dug it in deep into your
yeah.
sphincter.
But yeah, I also used to work at a valet though in college, down in LA, like Marina Del Rey, at a pretty nice hotel, like a Marriott, like right on the beach. And it was a sweet job.
Did you drive anything exotic?
Yeah, there's a couple like Porsches and
Sweet.
a couple Ferraris and stuff like that. And I was like one of the only few guys that knew how to drive a stick.
Hell yeah. Ferris
So-
How
Bueller.
could you
Yeah.
work at
shit.
how could you fucking work at a valet and not know how to drive?
I know.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Right.
I mean, it's still a
stick.
small percentage of cars, but like
Yeah.
your fucking job is to move.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't move this one.
I don't
Yeah.
know how to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was sweet because it was like a private company that just got hired by the hotel.
It's a contract.
Yeah,
thing.
and so we also got hired to do like
What was the name of it?
Minutemen, I think it was.
Is that because it only took a minute?
Yeah, we're so fast.
Damn.
Getting
Fastest
in and
in the
out.
biz.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But we got hired to do like private parties too by like rich people in LA. And so me and a guy worked at like this, obviously I don't know who he was, but there's just a super rich guy up in like the Hollywood Hills, had like a birthday party for his 10-year-old daughter. and for some reason needed to invite like 100 people and needed a valet service. So we just did that. We like drove all the way up. It was like an hour and a half drive away from where I lived. Would park everyone's car like just on the street because obviously it's not like a parking garage at the hotel. And then we just sat there for like 3 hours.
Well, they enjoyed.
Yeah, getting paid, per hour, but for do nothing. And then at the end of the night, it was just a huge rush.
Yeah, right.
But made a lot of good tips, so it was cool.
That's cool. Yeah, totally.
But sadly, that job didn't. I got fired from that job.
Maybe if you wouldn't have stolen money.
I know. It was election night, like 2004, John Kerry versus George Bush.
Of course.
What's up, John?
We all remember. Yeah, so Bush.
The night that will live in infamy or whatever. But I was working, and occasionally, people would roll up in either a really nice car, and the shift manager would be like, let's just park this really nice car at the front of the hotel to make it look like a more expensive hotel. Or people would roll up and be like, oh, we're going to be like 10 minutes at the bar.
Is that a thing they do? The valets just make a decision that
like if it's like if it's a super exotic car, yeah.
I've always wondered.
Or I think I think people can request, like, I don't want anyone to drive this car, so they'll park it themselves at the front, and then they'll just leave it there.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Damn.
I mean, obviously, if you're staying at the hotel,
bring down the.
But
drop their rates.
So there was always like a couple cars parked at the front, and my shift manager, who was a stand-up guy, would sit in these cars talking on his cell phone because
customers' cars.
Yeah, in customers' cars talking on his cell phone to one of his many girlfriends that he called it at the time. And he couldn't do it outside the car because the hotel cameras would see him and they'd be like, "Why are you just talking on your cell phone?"
So he'd just get in a customer.
He would get into a customer's car and sit there for like 15 minutes talking on his cell phone while I would when new people would roll up, I'd greet them and take their keys, give them the ticket, park the car. It was just like that was the normal. I was like, okay, this guy just doesn't really work that hard. But so that happened during the night, and then there were a couple cars left at like 11 o'clock at night, and he's like, okay, park them in the back because they're not coming back, and then go home for the night. So I did that, and then the next day I come into work, and the owner of the company, or the actual manager, like pulled me into his office, and he's like, we got an issue.
Tom Minuteman.
And I was just like, what's going on? He's like, apparently one of the cars that was parked out front claimed they had $100 bill in the cup holder.
What?
And they claimed it was stolen.
Fucking $100.
Who leaves a fucking
I don't know.
C note in the
Yeah.
Oh, that's where this goes.
They claimed
single $100 bill?
Now I'm going to take my car to get valet.
and they were like, we checked the cameras and seems like you're the one who parked the car. You're the last person to drive the car. So
What?
we're going to have to let you go.
Fuck that.
They're like, if it's not that we don't think you did it. It's just like to save grace, we have
Someone
to
has
yeah,
to.
someone has to take the
Someone
note.
has to eat crow or whatever the fucking term is.
But
who would leave $100?
I
Who
don't
would leave
know.
any cash?
Yeah,
unless
visibly
it was
cash.
clearly the tip. Like, isn't that like standard practice?
maybe.
Or just like leave money out and people take it.
Yeah.
Huh.
But another detail of the story, whether or not it's related to the fact of why I got fired or not, but since it was election night, I was talking to this previously mentioned shift manager about this, because I think it was even my first time voting in a presidential election, because I think I was like 19 or something. And so I was like, oh, did you go and vote? Like, it was crazy, experience and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, I can't vote. And I was like, oh, that's weird, because he was like, probably
Felon.
26 or something maybe. I was like, why is that? And he's like, well, I'm not a U.S. citizen and I don't exactly have a green card.
Oh.
I was just like, interesting.
Shift manager. Though.
Yes, yeah, but he's moving up the Minutemen
American dream.
chain.
Still started a business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dumb. $100 bill.
I'll just set this here.
Yeah.
And then let a stranger drive my car.
So I don't know if that
get
actually,
upset when it's gone.
yeah.
One time we had someone come into our house to do maintenance when we weren't there. And we had this like 36 pack of like natural ice, like super shitty beer. And it was gone. And we just left it in the garage.
Yeah.
Like, something had happened and we just had to like kind of set it in the middle of the garage for some reason. It was gone when we came home. And we were like, I think he thought that was his tip.
Or he's just like, I'm taking it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Thanks.
Yeah, I remember being like, who assumes? Like, hell yeah.
Another thing I want to mention is like a couple quote unquote celebrities stayed at the hotels. Like a lot of the time, like a Lakers player would stay there, and I don't follow basketball, so I didn't really know or care. But the most famous person I remember was I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'll show
James.
Garrett, but it was the actor that played Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movie. Do you remember?
Wow.
Oh,
big time.
His name's like Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa.
Oh,
Of course. Big legendary.
But yeah, he was a cool guy.
Cool. What kind of car do you have? S10?
I don't know. He had like a fucking Mustang or something like
Taurus.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Taurus SL.
Pretty sure it was like a Mustang convertible or something. But yeah,
That's cool.
big time.
Rubbing elbows.
Big time and yeah, Hollywood connections. All right. Thanks for that, Connor. Is that Connor?
Jordan. What's up, Jordan?
What's up, Jordan? Sorry about that, Jordan. Enjoy your drive. But the other one was from Connor, right? Is that right?
Jack
No, that's
Smith.
Jack Smith.
I don't know.
What's up, Connor?
Yeah, Connor.
What's up, Connor?
Pretty sure we have a patron named Connor.
Yeah, you know who you are, Connor.
Yeah, you know what's up.
So Jack says,
What's up, Jack?
When,
What's up, Jack?
When people put random wheels and tires for sale in their front yards, do they actually sell them? What are the odds that somebody drives by in an 01 Blazer looking for 2 used wheels and they are the right size?
That's a good point. Didn't we see that coming back from like Popeyes the other day? It's just like rims in the front yard.
Yeah,
It'll be like $1,600 OBO
Yeah.
on like a piece of paper.
Let me just put these out.
Yeah, like no indication of what they're for, like the bolt pattern
Yeah,
or
nothing.
offset.
It's just to entice you to stop.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we have an answer.
I don't
People
know.
are-
We've
people
never
are
done it.
fucking crazy.
When I was moving one time in LA, I was moving from apartment to apartment, and I still had the Prelude OEM wheels because I had swapped them out for some Racing Heart wheels and then got rid of the car. But for some reason, I forgot I still had the Prelude OEM ones. And so when I moved, I was like, I don't want to fucking like move these and take it.
Yeah,
So
wheels.
I literally put them by the dumpster in my apartment complex, and they were gone within like 15 minutes.
Yeah, man, those are worth at least $100.
Well, they're no blades or Fat Fives.
That's a free $100 bill and a cup holder right there. Shit. Yeah. Yeah. People just leave stuff out. It's always weird. I mean, the free thing, I kind of get. Like sometimes people put like just a fucking mattress on the side of the road, and be like free.
Wow.
Like that you just don't want to properly dispose of it.
Yeah.
And you're
Don't
just,
holler.
you just fucking
Look, I'm giving this to you.
yeah, you're just praying someone will need it. Like, oh, you want this like broken dresser? Free.
Keyword free.
Generous. But yeah, when people try to sell stuff, do like a pair of pants on a table. $20. Like, there's no foot traffic.
They've only been worn 200 times.
How does this
Yeah.
work? Just give it to Goodwill. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, I don't know. Good question, but
Yeah.
I think we're there with you.
Yeah, it's one of those questions that'll never be answered. One of life's questions.
We don't know. Who would answer?
There's probably some guy that has like a great story. Like he actually found the wheels that he needed.
Yeah.
There they are.
Yeah, boy, I wish I could find some single piece forged deep offset wheels for
Yeah.
the rear of my C5 Z06.
There they are.
Wait a minute. Free and a broken mirror box spring. Yeah, good question, Jack.
Yep.
Connor.
Nope.
What's up, Connor?
Sup, Connor. Okay. All that I've written here is Nissan sucks.
Oh, so I think was that our first episode? Or one of our very
I believe episode 1.
It was
We've
like
come full circle.
reoccurring like topic. I think.
So it's been 1 year. We've decided to retouch.
one of
the
our.
whole
Pretty sure one of
topic.
our episodes is just titled "Nissan Sucks."
I think it was
I
episode
think
1.
I think it was episode 1. Yeah.
Circling back,
So circling back, retouching on a subject.
there's been some developments.
Okay.
and I think Nissan sucks even worse.
Yeah, what's
than
the
they did.
verdict?
Yeah, they've continued to suck all year.
Yeah, well, they had the thing with their CEO
Yeah.
getting arrested. That was like fall of last year.
Carlos Goshen.
Sup, Carlos?
Sup, Carlos?
Hopefully he's listening.
Hopefully they get car bros in prison. you get like PBS and Car Bros podcast.
That's it.
That's all you get.
But no, they like a week or two ago they announced that like their profits were like down the fucking drain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were down like 90-something%.
I read that it was like 90%. That sounded like a typo.
And I guess they're cutting like a shitload of jobs.
Right.
I don't know where. But I saw like a lot of it was like, oh, we've kind of tarnished our brand
Yeah.
through like fleet sales and just like discounting the shit.
Yeah,
out of
apparently
their
all the
cars.
stuff we were like talking shit about them.
Came to roost.
But I mean, I guess it was fair because we were like, how are they in business? Like,
Yeah.
How is this working?
well, apparently what I've heard is that the
then-
old CEO like basically just chased volume and market share.
Yeah, it shows.
But like, so it's just like dump
any-
these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Move units.
And apparently like it's fucking just trash.
It's backfiring.
I wonder how though. I mean, maybe what
I think
it is,
it's kind of like, I guess how Ford like couldn't make money on a lot of their cars.
I'm guessing what it is you release something that is so crazy cheap because they're cheap and anyone could buy it. It was just like,
I think they just they like lowered the barriers to entry.
they just like it. If you need a car, here it is. If you're struggling financially or whatever, is like, we've got the product for you. But that can there's only so many people in that position. And
it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make a lot of money for each one that you sell.
it doesn't mean you'll make money, but even that strategy will eventually falter.
Right.
Because all of your potential audience now has a new car.
Yeah.
They're not going to buy it next year.
It just like drops the resale value and like all of your like whatever good image.
Yeah, I mean, even aside from it being a horrible long term.
And the other thing is that I think they sold so many of their cars to fleets, like rentals. And like every person I've ever talked to that's rented a Nissan, even people that aren't super into cars, like I rented a Sentra and that thing sucked.
Yeah.
Like I would never buy a car like that.
Yeah.
And it's like in a way they're almost like tanking their own, because people like they've been exposed to Nissan as a rental and they know that it sucked. And they know that they don't want to buy
It's a garbage product.
Yeah.
Well, I read the new Altima's actually good.
I mean, I think
I read like a headline.
I think it's like good. Like,
I think it's
good as in like
it's better than it was.
Maybe on par, like close to being on par with some of the others.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's on par with like a Camry or an Accord. But
I don't know. Yeah, a segment that's dying anyways.
Yeah.
But, well.
But the thing is, the fucking Z and the GTR are really fucking old now.
Yeah.
And from what I can tell, I don't think they even have like a plan.
I wonder if those will be the last.
Yeah.
Because I remember like maybe a year ago or less than a year ago, I saw one of their higher ups was like, we're considering the direction of the next GTR. Like, we're like, now you are.
Yeah. I kind of doubt it, because to make that car, the GTR is a cool car.
Yeah.
I love that thing. Don't get me wrong. And I'm glad they still make it, because it's kind of outdated, but not really.
I mean, they've been refining it.
Yeah. The only problem with it is it's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
They must have just been taking a loss on that car, because when that thing debuted, it was
cheap.
60 grand.
Yeah.
It was 60, and now it's like 160.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That is not inflation. That's like,
that's in a decade.
so who knows? But to beat that car would be such a financial investment.
Yeah.
That's the part that
especially with how I think I saw they're going to like cut 10% of their models.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious now.
I just
wonder if there
imagine
will
that
be
is like
another one.
very fucking down the list of their priorities.
They'll probably bring it back someday in the future, maybe.
Yeah.
But I can't see replace. That would just be financially irresponsible
at this point
to update, completely refresh a tiny low volume
niche.
Yeah. Even if it's high margin, which I don't think it is. It's like the development it would take to surpass that car.
Yeah.
It'd probably be in their best interest to not even try. Because when that thing came out, it slaughtered competition.
Oh, yeah.
And to do that today, it's like, you can't fuck around.
No.
You're going to have to go nuts to do that. The Z they could do. I could see him updating the Z. There's still room for...
I think like Infinity is struggling a lot too. They're kind of right there. Like,
yeah, they should be.
who talks about Infinity?
Yeah. I guess I'm more just saying the segments there.
Yeah.
The segment,
there's interest. I just don't know if they can pull it off.
I don't know if they can either, but it wouldn't be like stupid of them to try.
No,
because that's the kind of car, like the Z could be a Halo car.
Yeah.
If they like in a dream world hit that thing out of the park, like a 380Z or whatever, it was just like, holy shit. Like they're back.
Yeah.
That would trickle through their whole
you would think so.
future lineup, I think. Yeah, so that one wouldn't be too bad to do. A new GTR would just be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
like, why did you make this when the Sentra is a piece of shit? I don't know. I think they could turn around.
Yeah, we'll see.
Depends
Probably
on
not though.
Depends on whoever the new CEO is. I mean, 100% depends on the management of that company.
First, they need to like take care of all the shit that's already going on.
Yeah, first they need to right the ship.
Get their ducks in the row.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of like, I don't know, new models.
Halo cars? I don't know.
Knocking shit out of the park. The C8. And
I don't think anyone's talked about this.
I'm guessing that's just been like...
I haven't heard any media.
I'll be honest with you. I read almost no car media these days. I pretty much turned it all off. But like every once in a while I will read Motor Trend or something like that. I'll like cruise through it.
Yeah.
Or something. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of those blogs like Jalopnik, they're just like structured to kind of be like drugs. It's like, ooh, let me take a little.
Here's another take.
It's like bring a trailer. It's like, ooh, let me surf through this. Like I like it. It's cars. I just personally I can't really control myself, so like I avoid that stuff.
Restraint.
But I'm guessing there was a ton of C8 hubbub.
It was fucking everywhere. It still kind of is.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, okay. So here's a little warning. I'm guessing everything we have to say about it's probably been repeated somewhere else.
Yes,
I would assume.
Right.
It's news to me because we haven't talked about it. I haven't talked about
Big
it.
news, folks.
Yeah, I haven't heard any of the takes. Chevrolet announced the 8th generation Corvette, a month ago?
Something like that.
We're pretty late to it.
Hot off the press.
Hot off the presses. Okay. I don't know. Initial reaction?
I can't remember ever hearing this many people talk about a Corvette.
Yeah, a new Corvette.
Like at any time in my
my
lifetime.
Especially just like the base Corvette.
Yeah,
like it's not even the
just
Z06
a Corvette in general.
Yeah.
I would imagine this is on the level of what the... Well, I don't know. I was going to say what the C4 must have been, because everything after that was kind of iterative.
Yeah.
But even like Stingray to early C4 was just kind of... And
the C4 kind of sucked too when it came.
Yeah, I was going to say they just kind of like...
I don't even know if the C4 was considered good at the time.
I think so.
When it came out.
Man, have any of them been a big deal then?
I mean, the C5 was a pretty big deal, but it still wasn't that. It was just like
groundbreaking.
Yeah,
it's just like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like people who have written off the Corvette now are like...
They're back in it.
Stoked about it. Yeah.
Right.
And I watched the live stream thing. They tried to make a big deal out of it, and it was so fucking pathetic.
Yeah,
it was so boring.
I did not watch it.
I didn't watch it either.
I
just got your text message updates.
Yeah, I just like ranted to them.
Yeah,
they were like, "Stop watching it." Then. This whole concept of like unveiling a product
or like a keynote presentation.
The keynote, it's basically the remnants of Steve Jobs just trickling into everything. Like everyone feels like their product is worthy of some fucking debut. Which, to be fair, that car kind of. Sure it was.
Yeah.
But they had this whole fucking intro about space.
I think the thing is there's just so much fucking media.
Yeah.
It's like,
sure.
It's like, why would you not just fucking steal every, like just
100%.
blow up everything? There's like so many people just desperate for content.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it. It's like, this is the world we live in and people do big unveils. That's fine. Yeah. But it was like 30 minutes of build-up about the fucking space program.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, SpaceX is like slaughtering every American company trying to go into space anyway. Like all this shit was super outdated. It was so bad. They're grasping at so many straws. And then finally it's like the vet.
Yeah.
And so they did this whole buildup of like we've been wanting to make it mid-engine for a while. It's like they were pre-defending themselves from criticism that like, who gives a shit? Make it mid-engine.
Yeah.
Like,
do whatever you want.
You don't owe shit to anybody. Like I hate it when people are like, it's like the Supra crowd.
Oh yeah,
it needs to be a blankety blank. Like, get the fuck out of here. It
needs to be tunable to 1,500 horsepower.
It doesn't need to be anything. Yeah. Like when an artist changes the sound on a next album, it's like, you're leaving the old. It's like, they don't know you shit. They made what they made. You get to enjoy it. It's like, take your ball and go home. Don't buy it if you don't like it.
Especially because the change they made it like a million times better than the previous.
Yeah, I mean,
performance-wise.
So, anyways, they unveil it. They like drive it down this hallway and like show it, and people are just like in the crowd, just like, oh, because it looks dope.
Yeah.
The front, it's like, oh, it's so fucking sick and exotic, and it's on the like turntable thing, and people are just like, and like the profile, it's like mid-engine exotic, and it gets to the rear, and you can tell people are like, no.
what happened?
I mean, the rear's not bad.
Yeah.
Just doesn't hold up.
But it's not the front.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the front's just like, oh my God. And then the rear, and people are like, ugh. It's like, it's like Camaro-ish. You know? It's just like, you can feel the audience kind of tense as it like moved around. Because people are like, it's the first time they've seen it. You know, and they're like, it's gut reaction, which is insanely honest. Your gut reaction to something is your gut reaction. You could tell people were just like, like, I don't know.
Not its best angle.
Yeah. But overall, that thing looks killer.
Yeah.
I mean, immediately, I think it appealed to a huge audience.
Yeah.
The circle of vet enthusiasts just grew in that second, where it's like, I'd drive that. Okay. So that was the initial reaction. Here's one take I have. They didn't change the formula, really. It's the same motor. It's an iterative motor. It's the same approach. The interior's nicer. All they did was move the engine behind the driver. That's all they did.
Yep.
And people are like losing their shit in a way that they've never
On
lost
both
their
ends.
shit
Like
before.
on either it's amazing or what did they do?
The thing I'm criticizing mostly is the it's amazing thing.
Okay.
Where it's just like, it's like, oh, this is it. Like, this is the car to have now.
I mean,
It's
I
just
wonder
like-
why they wouldn't have done it earlier.
I think they should have. After looking at the C7, in my opinion, the C7 is kind of a dud. Is fine.
Yeah.
But clearly they should have just done it then.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder why they waited so long.
Probably well, it's way easier, I'm guessing, to just build off what you already have before. But it's like, I think, okay, so here's what I think is happening. If you just in general, if you want to make a killer product, take something that is only available to a very exclusive, very wealthy, very kind of just off limits audience and make it available to the masses.
Yeah.
That's like every big product, like digital music, where it's like, oh, anyone who has like thousands of records, it's like, that's an exclusive thing. And now everyone can have it.
Right.
Like, of course, everyone's going to want that. Like any area where only kind of like a small audience of exclusive people have a thing because it's so expensive or hard to do or whatever.
Right.
If you can make that available to a lot of people, you've got like a knockout product. And I think what they have done is made the look of a mid-engine exotic car, which we have been complaining about for years now, where it's like, who gives a shit about all these new $300,000, $400,000 exotics that aren't even that exciting, that are clearly just targeted at rich people.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think anyone has like a McLaren 720S on their wall as a kid. You know, it's just like, I don't think those have the same star power that they did.
Right.
So it's just like, there's all these like hypercars and they're all boring. And because they're just untouchably expensive.
Yeah.
And now they have taken that exotic shape.
They've taken like 80% of it.
It's basically a
90%
shape.
of
That's
it.
the thing. That's my complaint is it's a shape.
Yeah.
It's nothing but a shape. And they've made it 60 grand.
Yeah.
And people are losing their shit because in their mind, that shape is exotic.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the formula didn't change from C7. A car that is kind of a dud to a car that is now people are fudging their pants over. It's the shape. Because now you get to, for a low price,
Get to look
like
yeah.
you drive something incredibly exotic. Because it's like, it's a vet. We're going to see these things in used car
Right.
Yeah.
dealership.
Still
It's like
Corvette.
nothing has changed. It's not like, oh man, they went to this like double overhead cam V8.
Yeah.
It's like they moved way up market. The formula is way different. It's like, it's the vet. It's the same thing.
Although it sounds like they probably will for the whatever higher.
yeah.
I think it's supposed to be like flat plane something.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Here's another take on that. The like Z06 or whatever comes out, the fast models. I think the magic of this thing is that they made a cheap exotic.
At that price point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, really the cool one is the base model,
Yeah.
I suspect. Or actually the cool one will be the base model plus whatever the Grand Sport version is, where it's just kind of like the look and a lot of the performance, but naturally aspirated simple motor.
Right.
It's like blue collar supercar kind of thing. It's like, that's dope. I think I'm going to end up being less interested in the
Whatever twin turbo.
I hope that they I have two thoughts. One, I'm not going to be that interested in it because it will then it'll end up being so expensive again. You'll option it above $100,000. That's cool. I'm not saying it's bad, but the cheap version is way cooler to me. But two, I really hope that they do something that's not just a supercharged version.
Yeah.
I hope that motor is a bit exotic. I'd like to see them.
It'll be like some kind of like all-wheel drive variant, or
maybe all-wheel drive.
Crazy.
I just like to see it not be a push-rod supercharged V8.
Yeah,
because then it's just like,
it's like anyone could do that.
It's faster. That's why I like the ZR1. Wasn't there something that like just wasn't that cool about it? Because it's like, it's great. It's
just a more supercharged
blown V8. Yeah. Like I don't know. It's a little boring. So I think a lot of people are applying too much credit to how good this thing's going to be. I think because their only experience with a mid-engine car is like a 488, and they're stamping it with 488.
I mean, what other mid-engine cars have there been that aren't just fucking MR2s or Fieros?
Right? Yeah, it's kind of the first of its kind.
Yeah, it's the first performance mid-engine car that's
under 100.
Yeah, that's not prohibitively expensive.
Yeah, or that's not so lame because it's so cheap.
Right.
Yeah. It's like a 4-cylinder
MR2 Spider
or something.
Like a little Lotus or something.
Yeah. I think this is going to sound really dumb. So don't quote me on
don't
this.
listen.
Because there's a big chance it's wrong. But my guess is they didn't totally anticipate the chord that they struck. I think in their mind, the decision was like, we got to go mid-engine because we've reached the maximum performance of this layout of a front engine rear drive.
What else are you really going to do?
You just can't. It's like you can't go faster than a ZR1. Yeah, really. Like that's as fast as you can go. And so they were like, we have to move the engine back to continue to achieve higher and higher performance.
Right.
But the real reason they should have done it is there's just no one in this market.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I think it's so popular. I don't think anyone's like, oh man, they just created this like.
The biggest thing I noticed is that compared to the other cars that are kind of in that ballpark, like the GT500 Mustang, it's like still not out yet, but should be out soon. And even the Supra, which they're not like that far off in price.
Yeah.
It's just like how I can't imagine like if you'd spent all this time like, all right, the new Supra, like here it is, or like check out the GT500.
See, GT500 I think is going to be way cooler. That's why I think once we see this vet in person, that's what I mean.
I mean, once they start popping up everywhere.
Yeah, well, if you see like a 488 in person, you're like, this thing's fucking exotic.
Yeah,
like this is nutso. This is crazy. I have this feeling. I'm not sure. I'm totally open to being wrong. But we're going to see a C8 in person and be like, damn, this is cool. But like,
it's still a Corvette.
Yeah.
It's not that much different than a C7.
I think it's not going to be as like crazy exotic. Because for that price, you just can't make it tiny. Like the thing about a 488 is like, it's like 600 horsepower or whatever the fuck, but it's still pretty compact.
Yeah.
And like the demand, I mean, that just comes from expensive engineering.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be shit about this where it's like the wheel gap's still going to be like a little bit dorky.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be things about it where it's like,
yeah, it's possible.
I think that's what I mean. I'm totally open to being wrong, but it's like our only experience with this kind of car is supercar levels of car. And our expectation is this will be that. For $60,000. I'm open to being wrong. I'd actually love to be wrong because it forces everyone else to be better. But I don't know. That's my fear is we're going to start seeing them on the road and being like, not quite as.
The crazy thing, I don't think I've heard one negative opinion about one
besides the people that say
opinion.
Well, besides the stupid
takes, like boomers are so offended by this.
I don't even think that's fucking real.
That's what I mean. Like, I've never heard.
Boomers.
I haven't heard one single person like, what have they done?
Exactly. Yeah.
Who are you hearing this opinion?
It's kind of what people like to do that with. They like to kind of imagine the person.
Yeah, they imagine someone and then write this defense against them.
Yeah.
We're being inundated with emails from boomers.
It's like one fucking guy.
Yeah.
It's probably trolling them. in the first one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no one said
Let me tell you
anything.
why you're wrong, boomer.
Yeah, listen here, boomer trash. This is why the Corvette's gonna march on with or without you.
Yeah.
Like no one said
I hope
anything.
you die.
No one. I don't know who you're responding to.
Yeah.
So anyways, GT500 I think still dope. Supra. Super fucking embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because like
It's almost like the Supra, like, if they would have just come out with it like a year earlier,
Yeah.
at least it would have had some fucking time to.
I have to say, man, ever since the C8 came out, I don't know if this is a coincidence, but I started seeing more Supra ads.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, don't.
Well, they're also starting to be like dealerships are finally getting.
Yeah,
them.
maybe,
Yeah.
but I just noticed this uptick where it's
Yeah.
like, no, but remember,
We also have a two-seater.
also the Supra.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget about this other thing.
Because they're the
330
same
horsepower.
price, right? Are they 50 or are they 60?
No, I think the Vet will end up being like $59.99.
I mean,
or
I
something.
think like a good vet would
Yeah.
probably be like 70.
Yeah,
probably.
sure.
For like the stuff that you'd want.
Right.
But like a good Supra, like didn't
Yeah.
the Supra start at 50?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's any performance in it, but it's
Oh, I
not.
thought there was like a GR model or whatever.
no, I
Look,
not,
they're within like
It's within spitting
15%
distance.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
and it's like one is like
a straight 6.
Yeah.
one is like a sporty car, and the other one's like a fucking like within striking distance of a supercar.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had a C8 and you had a Supra, one of them looks dumb.
Yeah.
If like you wouldn't expect them to be with comparable
Right.
price of each other. Yeah, it made a lot of cars look not as competitive.
Yeah.
Like GT350R I'd still rather have, but like base model GT350, it just
Yeah.
kind of opened the door for like, oh, this is an option.
And it's like, I mean, the vet has always been like that, but it used to be like, you could get a Grand Sport. It's like, yeah, I don't want a Corvette.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
in the mix.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was like comparable.
But it was almost like you're committing to a Corvette lifestyle kind of thing.
But aren't you still? This is my point.
I think
It's
you,
like,
I think
what
you
has
are, but I
changed?
think like people's perception of it is changed.
It's just the perception because
Yeah.
like
It's gone from boomer trash to like
yeah.
Italian suit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is that it? That they've erased
I guess
Stereotype?
the stereotype of the driver? Because that's my thing. It's like
Yeah.
literally nothing changed.
Yeah.
Just the location of the engine. It's just the
I mean,
location of the
the
engine.
transmission's always been in there. At least it has recently. The transmission's always been in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. People are like, DCT. It's like that old auto is fast as hell,
yeah.
if not a better choice,
Yeah.
because it's going to be like smoother in traffic. It's not a 4-speed from the
700
70s.
R4.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's just the thing that's been puzzling me is like they didn't really change because the Vet was always an exotic car. The body is like
Yeah.
composites and like there's magnesium in the frame and like the engine girdle and stuff. It's like it's a pretty exotic
Yeah. It wasn't just
formula.
it wasn't just a muscle car.
Yeah, it's
Right.
not like they went from like Mustang to mid-engine or whatever. It's like it was a standalone
Yeah.
sports car.
Yeah.
It was something pretty special. So yeah, that's I mean, all this is just kind of conjecture until we either see one in the wild or get to drive one. But I suspect a large part of the positive wave of enthusiasm has to do with us being primed by more expensive supercars.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
my guess.
Yeah.
That is my suspicion.
My favorite part of it was they were like, you can still fit 2 bags of golf clubs in the back. And
Yeah.
it's just like,
What is this obsession with marketing sports cars as golf bag?
because the people who buy them are like old retired guys like my dad who fucking play golf.
But really though, is it that? I guess it's just like
I don't know, man. Every 50 plus, besides Garrett's dad that I know, like they play golf.
yeah. I guess it's because that's the most awkward thing,
Especially if you're talking about an affluent.
like a bike or a surfboard or
Yeah.
whatever you
Yeah.
just put on the roof. You can't really put golf bags on the roof. But yeah, it's just like such a common
Yeah.
metric
Of like,
of
storage
trunk
space. Yeah.
It's like it's got to fit golf.
Well, for me,
bags.
it's a fucking like foldable stroller now,
Yeah.
which like
Yeah.
coincidentally takes up about the same amount of space.
yeah, but that one is like
a necessity.
most human
Yeah.
couples, end up having children.
Yeah.
That.
It's not a hobby.
It's like how many people are taking their exotic car to go golfing? Like that's the thing. You get all sweaty.
Make
back
or
I don't
of
know.
your car.
When I used to go golfing, I would always see like a ACR like Viper.
Yeah, maybe it's just like, see, I don't golf, so I don't know, but maybe it's
You're
like
missing out, bro. You're missing out on the parking lot.
Yeah, that's where the real. That's what I mean. Maybe I should just go to golf course parking lots and like hang out there.
Okay.
Talk shop.
Yeah, maybe that's like a big deal. Is like what car you get into after you go golfing or something. Yeah, I mean, with all that said, I think they good for them. I don't think they could have had a more successful next generation of Corvette.
Especially given that like everyone fucking knew that was coming. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
The spy shots have been there.
Yeah, it wasn't
forever.
just like Chevy just dropped a fucking bomb.
Yeah, it was, and it also was
It's like people have been waiting for what, at least 5 years of like knowing for sure that it was coming.
Yeah, and it also wasn't like Samsung's new phone. It's like we've already seen it,
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a bunch of. I tried to Google when the live stream was for the C8. I was like C8 Corvette. I think that's all I Googled. And every fucking top article was like, here's the C8 before you're supposed to see it.
Yeah.
Here's the leak. Like, leak. It's a bunch of people just desperate for, please click on ours. Here's the one image that everyone...
Do you have cancer?
Yeah. Does your shoulder hurt? Pancreatic cancer. Yeah. So I like couldn't even avoid the leaks. Because I hate the leak. I don't want to fucking... I'll wait an hour.
Yeah.
It's not going to change. It's not available for
Let me give you
sale.
my opinions.
Yeah. Like, we're going to sit around and listen to your talking about a picture, which is what we just did. But, yeah. Anyways, good for them. I'm looking forward to it.
Sup, Chevy.
Yeah. Sup, Chevy. I'm pretty excited for that thing. I'm sorry to start seeing them on the road and to check them out for like a month and then be tired of seeing them.
We should go to the LA Auto Show this year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That'd be good. We could shift in it.
We could shift that bad
Shift
boy.
the automatic
And the
shifter.
GT500.
Yeah.
And the Supra.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good year to go. Okay. Should we do one more? What are we at? It's like an hour. But we're going to be gone a while.
Yeah.
Give them a little extra.
Give them a little taste.
Depending on how long
little tasty treat.
Jordan's commute
A
is.
little bit of dessert.
Okay. I'm going to close with big dudes.
Look, nobody else wants to touch these tops.
No one wants to touch big dudes.
These lightning rods.
Yeah. Here's just something I've noticed.
How have we talked about big dudes?
We've talked about big dudes and CRXs,
Okay.
which is just
Very-
for some
that's a
reason
very
it's the
specific-
same.
We've talked about big dudes on
And then big dudes
motorcycles.
on motorcycles. Well, specifically big slobs.
Yeah.
Which I'm not talking about big slobs.
Just big
That's one
dudes.
thing.
You're
It's
talking
not
about-
just big dudes. Some dudes are just big.
Yeah.
That's just that's how they look, and they own it. Something about a big dude getting into a car when the whole car like adjusts with them. Because like I remember when I put, especially when I put like coilovers on my 510 or just like any sporty car that I own. I weigh 180 pounds. It's like I'm not tiny, but like I'll get into a car and it like doesn't even.
Right.
It's like
It doesn't even notice.
the car doesn't even respond to me.
Yeah.
I just sort of get into it. It just kind of like it's still like it's in its same state.
Yeah.
But like when a big dude gets in a car, that thing fucking
Real.
that thing adjusts to him.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see someone get into or out of a car, and it's like they had an effect on that thing.
Yeah.
That suspension moved.
Yeah. It's altered. Yeah.
The car drives differently.
Yeah.
The car smooths
Characteristics.
out. Yeah. The suspension evens out when that guy drives the car versus when I do. It's like a noticeably more jarring ride when I drive it. So I don't know. I'm going to say like hats off to big dudes. Because I think it's a pretty cool look. You get into a car and it fucking moves around. That's pretty sweet.
It steps aside.
Yeah,
It knows who's the boss.
it bows down a little bit. Just notice the next time a big dude, like, give him a little side eye. Like, don't stare at him, but like, check him out. That car fucking moves.
Glance.
It's pretty dope. It's a power move. Not like me. I get in.
Usually the older the car, the better.
Yeah, like some old Cutlass.
Yeah.
it's like moving. Suspension's like oscillating as a result. Yeah, pretty great. Whew, okay, hot
Yeah,
take.
well,
there you go.
Folks.
Where else are you going to hear that? Okay, so anyways, Just to say it again, thank you all for being here.
Thanks for a year.
Yeah, thanks for a year's worth of this, plus or minus, but we're calling it a year. Thanks for all the support, all the positive feedback. Yeah, especially to our patrons. Thank you guys for...
Shout out to all the haters.
There's like not really any...
But I still like to shout them.
We always get like one comment every podcast. It's like, I wish you guys would still make videos.
Yeah, that one's true. Like, fair enough.
We're working on it.
Yeah, that stuff's coming. But I haven't seen anyone... They just don't watch, I guess. The thing about the podcast is
they don't like it, they can get it.
Yeah, we're not really tricking anyone into watching. The videos are like we are purposely fooling people into watching it, and they get pissed off. The podcasts are not so much like that. It's a much more like honest view count. Anyways, thank you for being here. Special thanks to the patrons. If you want one more podcast plus the 2 others that you don't have access
Various
to,
other
feel free to
content.
sign up for Patreon. Always welcome. Always cool when new people get in there.
And I guess,
chat with us.
we should, we'll add something about the meetup from Monterey.
Oh, yeah. We are doing a meet and greet. If you're going to Monterey.
Yeah. If you happen to be going to Car Week this year.
Yeah. Do we have the details?
Yeah. So if you happen to be at Monterey Car Week this year.
So Friday, August 16th.
Yes.
Right?
What we're planning is, I think, 6:30.
6:30 p.m.
Yeah, there's
Friday, August 16th.
There's a Jack in the Box at it's at Highway 68, which is where the highway that the track is on, and 218, which is Canyon Del Rey Boulevard. It's right where they meet. We'll add it in the description so you can look it up and see. But it's kind of in like a shopping center. It should be pretty easy to find if you've been there at all.
So first official Car Bros meet and greet. Jack in the Box.
We'll add it in these. I guess probably in the description.
Yeah, we'll add a link in the description.
We'll put something on Patreon as well.
Patreon and then the Kickstarter.
But if you happen to be at Car Week and you're not going to see us at one of the other events, we'll hang out.
Yeah.
Have some tacos.
Come meet us and have some $1 tacos. Talk some shit.
Check out the Fieri in person.
Yeah.
And
come be one of the 3.
Yeah, we'll probably I'm sure we'll end up filming something for the video.
Yeah. If you want to get in the video too. Sure. Yeah. I think we'll get about 3 people. That's my guess.
Yeah, we're hoping.
But that'd be cool. If we get those 3.
Yep.
Hell yeah. So, come on down, bring your ride.
So maybe we'll see you in less than 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
Yep.
All right.
If not, we'll be back early September.
Yeah, September 3rd.
Likely. Yep.
At the latest. So anyways, thank you all for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for being here. And we will see you at Jack in the Box. Or
assuming we survive Monterey.
Yeah. Or we'll see you September 3rd.
Yep.
Cool.
Bye-bye.